What's up guys, ShavedApe here, and I'm going to do a quick tutorial for you. Vegas Pro tutorial for the basics. The beginner's guide to Vegas Pro. How to split a track, how to mute a track, how to change volume on a track, how to fade in the start and finish of a track. Those kind of things. Nothing special. If you want render settings, I do have a video on render settings, and I'll stick that in an annotation and also in the description below. But other than the basics, yeah, this is to help those guys starting out, maybe recording their gameplay for the first time, that are looking to edit a little bit. They want to put commentaries over the top, that kind of thing. So I'll perhaps show you how you might record commentaries too, because commentaries can be done while playing. Of course they can, but you can also record a commentary later, and Vegas Pro will allow you to do that. So you could do it all in one program if that's what you wish to do. I use a program called Audacity, and I would check that one out. It's a great program. But it is possible to do it in Vegas Pro, so I'll quickly show you how that can be done as well. Okay, so I'm going to pull in a video so that we can work on it, and I'll change it over to Project Media so we can see what we're doing. And then I'm going to quickly click OK, find a video, any video will do, doesn't really matter. How big's that? That one will do. Oh, it's quite big actually, we'll go with that one. So I've now pulled in a video, and as you can see, it's done a few different tracks. Now I'll quickly talk through them, but I'll also point out that some of these won't usually appear. Okay, so we'll start with this one first of all. We've got the video track. You can see it's got a video sort of icon over there. Okay, and then we've got a sound track, or an audio track, another audio track, another audio track, and another audio track. Now this is because I use a program called Virtual Audio Cable to split my audio into multiple tracks, so that I can have just the game there. I can have my mumble or TeamSpeak or whatever we might be using at the time here, and I can have my own voice there, and then this one is everything blended together, so except me. Actually my voice isn't in there. So ordinarily what you're most likely to get, I would have thought, would be 3 tracks. You'll get an audio, your gameplay with your mumble or TeamSpeak or whatever mixed in, assuming you're using that. Now that's PC, of course. If it's on console, you're not even going to get that. Okay, you are going to get that and that. You may get a 3rd track. That's what I'm kind of getting at, is that you may only get 3 tracks. You may only get 2 tracks. Okay, but so long as you know the difference between the two, it doesn't really matter. Now then, if I want to hide the video for whatever reason, I can just click this button here. It will mute the track, and you can see it's now disappeared. Okay, I'm obviously not going to do that very often. If I want to mute the audio, there you go, it will grey out. But then if I render this now, it will obviously not play that track, so remember to uncheck it. But sometimes when you're doing things, you don't want to hear what's going on, so it's worth perhaps muting the track. Okay, I'm just going to delete this one because it's not needed anyway. And that one's empty, so we may as well get rid of that one as well. And I'm right clicking here to get rid of the track. So I'll show the track, and I'll play it, and of course you can hear something. Okay, and we'll leave it at that. So you've got the idea. Okay, I'm not going to play too much because there's no point. Now then, maybe I don't want this bit. I've gone, I mean, that's the intro of the game, isn't it? There's nothing special going on there. I'm going to change a few settings, but now I want to carry on. I want to go past that, and I want to start the game. Okay, so I want to get rid of this bit, the earlier bit. So let me highlight it. There we go. I want to get rid of that bit. So I'm going to click there. I'm then going to press S on the keyboard. That will split the tracks. I've now got this one, and I want to get rid of this one, so I'm going to just right click it and click delete. Okay, I'll drag this back to the beginning, and if I play through, I've decided I want to move this little bit here. Now I'm going to move this bit, okay, and I'm going to put it somewhere else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click again, press S, and then roughly there I'll press S again. And now I want to move this bit to the beginning. So I'm going to drag it across, put that there. There you go. Nice and easy, I've moved it around. Okay. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I just want to fade those 2 bits together. Okay. And you can see as I drag it in, it starts to fade it. Now that says 1 second there. I kind of want a bit quicker of a fade in than 1 second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll up on my mouse, or roll down on my mouse in this case, and it's going to start to stretch the tracks out. And you can see there was a gap after all that I didn't even know about. So we'll put that back together. That's now joined back together. I'll go over to, there we go. Put myself there. I'm going to go to where I started to join the track together. And as you can see, it says 1. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So we'll go 28 milliseconds. And that fades in. Now, if I try and play it from there, that should fade that little bit in. Okay.
Here, Colonel Miller. Follow me, Arthur.
Okay, so you see there was a slight fade in there. And let me just run that again so you can see it again.
Here, Colonel Miller. Follow me, Arthur.
Get ready.
Let me get rid of that. So you've seen now at least how we faded in. Now let's say we wanted to fade in the start of the video. We go to this little triangle at the top here. You see the crosshair change to that quarter circle. I'm going to drag it in, and there we go. I can change the fade. Let's give it a big long one. Okay, so we've got a 5-second fade in. If I want to change how this fades in, I go to the top of the track, right click, and I've got the option to change to different sorts of fade-ins. So we'll try that one. Okay, and I'll put it there and I play.
From the garden's direction.
Okay, so you see it fading in. I'm not going to give too much away again. I don't want to. In fact, I'm going to mute that, and that way you won't have to hear it. So that's that's how we fade it in. You do the same at the end of the track, of course, if you want to fade it out. And if you want to remove that bit again, press S and get rid of it. Okay. Let's say I've got a few splits in the track now. I've broken it up in a few different places, and I need to select multiple parts of the track. So I want this one and this one and this one, but I don't want this one. What I'll do is I'll double tap on D. That will give me the little square, and I can do that. Okay, that will then highlight those, and you now could, of course, double tap again to get it back to the normal crosshair. I could move them around should I want to. Okay, that's that one. If I want to change the volume, let's say I want to change the game's volume while I'm talking. Okay, so I can see I'm talking there. Maybe I only want to change the volume of that bit. So again, I would split it. Okay, and I will pull down the volume there. And I'll pull it right down to, well, I could go to where there's none, or I can leave a little bit in. You get the idea. So, of course, if I am speaking now, and I assume I am, well, that was a bit fucking daft. Okay, not necessarily the best commentary I've ever done there, but anyway. So, it shows you how to change the volume of the track, which is what the aim was there. Now, again, I could, if I want to, I could fade it in on this part of the track, and fade it out on this part of the track even, so that it goes down, and then of course you hear a little bit because it's slightly up on volume, and then it goes back up again. You can't unfortunately pull that up to get to meet there, but it doesn't really matter, you'd barely even notice it anyway. And I do tend to keep it a little bit lower. So that's your basic how you're going to bring down the volume of the track, then bring it back up again if you wanted to record something, for example. Now, there are a couple little things that you should definitely do with the video when you first pull it in, and that would be, I would make sure, before I've done any splits, I would do this. I would right click it, go down to properties, uncheck that one, change it to disable, and uncheck that one so that it's not doing it. Okay, maintaining aspect ratio will mean you get black bars around the end of your video and stuff. Once you've set your project properties up, you will have set it up to do, let's say, 720p for YouTube, or 1080p even for YouTube. You don't want black bars down the side here or along the top or whatever, because of however it was recorded in the first place. You want it to be stretched to fit your render settings of 1080p or 720p. So we'll remove the maintain aspect ratio for that reason. Okay, and the disable resample is to prevent when you've got a thing like the fade in fade out sort of thing here, it gets really blurry weirdly with Vegas. Vegas tries to fix things a little bit, and it screws it up rather than fixes it. So Disable the resample. We don't want it resampling. Not with games footage. Maybe it works with others, but certainly not with games footage. Okay. So that one's done. Now, of course, if I go to here, unfortunately, it's not been done. Which is why I say do it before we split it. But if you haven't, like I haven't, you can do this sort of thing. You could hold control and select them all. I'm not going to do that. Okay. And then when I right click, I can, so in fact, no, I could copy this one, then select these, right click on them, and I would go to that one there that's grayed out because I didn't actually copy. So let's copy it, copy, and then we go to there, and we choose paste event attributes. Okay. And just to prove that will work, if I right click and properties, nothing done. So I'll paste event attributes on that one only, and I'll right click it again, properties, and you can see that it did what I needed it to do. Okay, now that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is again using that double tap on D, highlight just the video track and right click it, come down to switches and uncheck it, and then do it again. And now all of these will be done. I'm not going to prove it to you. You'll have to take my word for it. Okay, so that's that basics. Okay, nothing much more I can really talk you through on that one. They are the absolute basics, as I say. I've shown you most of the basics. Now, maybe you want to do some commentary. You're not really sure what program to use. I think I did mention earlier about Audacity. Worth a try, but you'd have to pull in an audio track and then put it in there and sync it up and so on. Okay, what you can do, if you just want to talk over your video, like I'm doing right now, you could create an insert audio track. Okay, click that one, which will give you this box, tell it where you want it to record, and you can see mine's already set up because I've done it before. But yeah, I'll be happy with that, and I'll say okay, yeah, that'll do. And then we click this one. Now it'll start recording from here because this is where I've put this marker, so it'll start recording, and I will click the record. Well, hello there, YouTube, and I'm going to hide that. You get the idea. Okay, so I'm going to stop because I think that's good enough. We're done. And if I play that back and just hide those and play, well, hello there, YouTube. Okay, so you get the point. I've now recorded an audio track. Whoops, didn't want to do that. I'm going to now go in there and, well, I only want this bit. I don't want this bit. So I'm going to split it. And then I'll delete that bit because I can. So, and that's the point, is you can. But as you can see, it did split the rest of the tracks too. So be wary of that. Okay. But you can at least edit out bits of audio that you perhaps didn't want. So if you're going, you know, and well, then you can take it out. Okay. So, and if you keep saying okay like I do, you could probably take that out as well. Now then, one last thing that I just realised I hadn't mentioned. What about if we want to speed up a little bit of video? And because I've got a split there already, I'm going to speed up this clip. Okay, so this small clip here, I'm going to make it go faster, and then I'll make it go slower as well. So we'll put that there for a moment, and I'll pull it into the middle just so. Obviously, you'd keep these together once you've done it, okay? But just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you how we do it. So we put the crosshair right on the very end of the video there, okay? You're then going to hold control, and you'll see that the crosshair, or the cursor even, has changed. It's got a little squiggly line underneath. Release the control, nothing. It will just allow me to stretch the video, okay? And I'm going to just control Z because I don't want that to happen. If I control it, it will give me that little squiggly line, and that will allow me to slow the video down. Okay, so I'm now making it slower, and if I play that, you will see that. Okay, and if I want to speed it up, so let's make it smaller, let's make it that quicker, right, okay, and let's play it again. Now, of course, it's a lot smaller. I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay, so hopefully that's all you really need for the basics, and you know, if there's anything you want to ask me, feel free to do so below. I'm going to leave the video there because I think that's more than enough information for certainly the beginners of you out there. If you need any more, by all means ask a question below, and if I know the answer, I will obviously give the answer or try to give the answer. If I don't know, then I'm sorry. As I say, I'm not that advanced. I just know how to get by in Vegas. I do other things, I guess. I put color correction in on some videos, so I may go into video effects, for example, and pull in, let's go color corrector, and I may pull it in there. Now if I put it on that part of the track, it will go on all videos, but if I only want it on this one, then it will only go on this one. You see that, you get the point. Okay, so, and I'll shove it up just so you can see that I've done it. Okay, and then I click on close, and you can see that's gone green, so that says there is some sort of video effects on this layer. Okay, if you want to make the video smaller, bigger, that kind of thing, there you go. That will open up your video effects. Roll the mouse out to look in on the whole timeline thing, and then you can start doing things like that sort of thing. So there you go. You see I've just made it smaller. Okay, move it around so it's in the middle of the screen. Remember, we've unchecked maintain aspect ratio, so this thing is not going to, it's going to go as small as you want it to. Okay, it's not going to fit this box unless you want it to, and if you do want it to, well, you can always change that back to yes, and you'll see that it's maintained its aspect ratio. It's staying the size it was, or not necessarily the size it was, but it's not changing its shape at all. So there you go. Okay, and I'm obviously not going to do that, but that hopefully gives you an idea. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some basic ideas of the sorts of things you can do. Okay, so hopefully this is a nice, easy, quick beginner's guide for you. I know it perhaps didn't feel that quick. It certainly didn't feel that quick recording it, but hopefully it gives you a step in the right direction to get into some of the very basics you want done in Vegas Pro. If it does, please leave me a like. Let me know below as well, and if you've any comments or questions, feel free to leave them. I love getting comments from people. Yeah, I'll come back and answer them as much as I possibly can, so feel free to leave me a comment, a like, subscribe. You know the score, you've done it before, and I will see you all again in my next video, which hopefully will be soon. ShavedApe signing out.